Queenie Facebook Live. I'm Doc.
And I'm Queenie. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Queenie?
I'm great too. The fact I never know what's going to happen. Oh my gosh. As soon as we open these Zoom calls, because I instantly go, let's see if we can change it up just a little. And we always are on
That's the
the same
scary
page.
part. We're, what do we say? Two half brains equal one? Is it a half or
Yeah,
is it a
right. That's
quarter?
it's about, yeah, I was going to say, I never know what the answer is in that. Yours plus mine equals maybe a quarter. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Now, the good news is, honestly, when you think about today being December 7th, literally, I think about obviously holiday and Christmas. And I got such a kick out of your Christmas tree lighting ceremony. And of course, mine, I just loved everything about oil and water that we are always saying
Yep.
we are so incredibly different. And the chemistry piece just works. But how fun is that? Seriously, I'm sure my neighbors thought I was insane out there doing the countdown and all those things. But I just thought, once again, it's one of those deals. Just do a video, put it out there, and see what happens. Yours is so cute.
Thank you. Well, yours is too with the hallelujah and the countdown and likewise, our neighbors kept driving by going, she keeps turning the light because I was trying to time it
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's that one button that you have to push to make everything spin.
Yeah,
I
that's
kept hitting the
my
wrong button.
favorite.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I
and the
was
funny thing
like,
for me is each of my light circuit things is on a timer. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be a little nuts. So I have them go on at opposite times intentionally, actually. So this goes on, couple minute pause, this one, then the other two. And I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to get that coordinated? So it really worked out great because I only did one of the bigger sections, but I'm always ready for the house to go, no, today.
poof.
Yeah, poof is right. Yeah. And I've got all these lights that makes Chevy Chase look like an amateur. So it was so fun though. And I really do. I just love the fact that we were so on the same page for that one because I Christmas is just a blast for me.
Oh, same here. I love Christmas. It's
Yeah.
my
I can
favorite
tell by
season.
your hat.
I wear this and I torture my children too. I make them wear it for pictures. I
Oh,
still
there
do
you
that.
go. Yeah, that is a torture, I bet. And I love the fact, come here and have a little pose with mommy. And they're going,
We had a tradition. Did I ever tell you about traditions that
uh-uh.
we used to do? We don't do it much anymore. We used to go cut our own Christmas tree down.
Uh-oh, this
And
is sounding like the Griswolds a little.
yeah, no, not as adventurous, but we would go cut our Christmas tree down, and I'd make everybody wear their Santa hats, and then of course they'd be like, and then we would stand by the Christmas tree for pictures. But my husband, Mr. Jim, always would dread it because more often than not, we would have snow or it just rained. And so he would be on his stomach sawing the tree down, you know.
Oh,
So, but yeah, we switched a couple of years ago to a fake tree because a lot of the tree farms around here, well, the price like tripled, and
and
then they've been spraying their trees because I know they've been having some bug problems, so they've been spraying them, and I'm like, I love the smell, but the cleanup, and then you're spraying it. I'm just like, nah, I guess we'll just go to fake. It's
well,
easier.
actually, for me, I prefer to call it permanent.
Permanent.
Uh-huh. And
Oh,
so,
I call it fake. There's a difference. Fake.
yeah. And so, but I do understand though, and no offense for those of us who try so hard to not have chemical stuff in our home environment, especially, and then to have something like that violate everything you stand for really is tough. And I really do understand that.
So we have a permanent tree now,
Yeah.
which is easier. I'm thankful, pull it out of the box, throw it up. It's done. We don't have to let it sit. We don't have to saw off branches to get it through the door, those kinds of things. And
Well,
then
and
there's
again, I know that
that.
you have a gorgeous dog, and I wouldn't want the chemicals around her either. So,
Correct.
I promise I do understand that whole drill. I'm not adventuresome enough to go haul one, saw it down, and all that icky stuff, and then load it home. That's not a good fit for me. So, permanent has been a better fit for me in my environment. I hate to even ask this question, but
Uh-oh, here
have
we go.
ever have you ever had a aluminum tree?
No.
But what those are? Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
I had some great aunts that had a silver one.
yes.
And then there was one, and I'm not sure if it was aluminum, it was a white one.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because back in the olden days, and I'm really serious, I've heard this from other people, not
Yeah, that's because you're only 27.
right.
So
I've heard this
I've heard too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
from other people, but it literally was aluminum, and it was all kind of thick, like they bent it around so it would actually look like kind of a full tree, not how they are today, of course. But then you see this funky little white stick in the background, and then you take this weird disc light, like it was all different colors, and kind of like what you did for your house for your Christmas lighting ceremony. And the disc light shone onto this aluminum tree, and it would spin around for the colors. I look back on stuff like that and I go, oh my God.
What were we thinking? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But that was the fashion, I guess, back in the olden days, as I've heard. I do remember that you mentioned to me one time when we were talking about Christmas that you have tinsel memories.
Yes, I have tinsel trauma. How about, I think you do too. My mother would buy the long tinsel,
Uh-huh.
and we would have to take 2 or 3 and hang them on the branch and hang them on the branch. And my parents bought real trees every year, and theirs were
Oh,
10, 15 feet high. And we would spend probably hours hanging it just right. And I did that for the first few years, and I'm like, this is crazy.
yeah. See,
I'm
for
like,
me, instantly, that is not a good fit for me because tedious and minutia and tedium and all those things kind of would make me crazy. And so attention to detail, I'm cool with that, but I have to see the results or I have to feel the production piece. And that really did make me nuts. And then of course, if mom handed us a big handful of tinsel and you're supposed to do, like you say, one at a time, finally in my brain, I'm just going poof and make it fall where it goes. And oh my gosh. So
and then we'd have to take it off a certain way and she would save it. I mean, the tree was beautiful, but it took
oh yeah.
hours,
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
hours.
No,
Yeah.
that whole drill is not a good fit for me, but I think the Santa hats with the kids is traumatic. And I, of course, take that one step further and do reindeer antlers and all those things. And I'm sure every time my kids would come over here, they're going, uh-oh, what are we in for today?
That's funny.
I know. So Doc, I have a few
Yes.
cool things to discuss with you today.
Okay.
I know that for everyone watching, and again, we so thank everyone in the Doc and Queenie community, your support, your interaction, your discussions over the weekend. Doc's hanging from the rafters in her home, building the ceiling, and somebody's deciding that I'm taking dinner to her.
Yeah, that you're going to cook for me? Yes. I think everybody needs to comment on that.
I am so
All in
glad
favor, aye.
everybody figured out that wasn't going to happen. So that was pretty cute. But I
No,
definitely
here we go again.
Woohoo! I'm super excited about this. 1 week from today, ladies and gentlemen, we get to have
Oh dear.
our happy birthday Doc Zoom party. And we're going to post the ID and password for Zoom. You'll be right here on screen with us. If there's millions, that's terrific. And we're super excited to wish you the happiest birthday ever. And but I did want to mention that today. And obviously we can't do a secret because you are all over social media. So I just wanted to invite everyone again personally to Doc's party next week, high noon, right on Zoom, and it will be Facebook Live, hopefully. I always do that disclaimer. Did want to give this opportunity because seriously, this is actually your birth date, and I think that's the coolest thing in the world. So the Zoom ID and password will be posted on the group page. So literally just type in the Zoom ID, type in the password, and then you'll be right here on screen with us to wish this fabulous lady a happy birthday. So everyone watching now and certainly on the replay, this will be December 14th at high noon Central Time. And so honestly, I can't wait. I really mean that.
I'm kind of scared, but okay.
Do not be scared. It will be
Yeah,
fun.
don't be scared. Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. And the birthday celebrations, and that is honestly the fun thing. Everything's a little different now because even our Christmas celebrations, my girls' night out that we have on the first Wednesday night of every month that we've done literally since 2001 was supposed to be last week, and we couldn't have it due to the death in one of the families, one of our girls' families. And so they changed it till tonight. Well, that's terrific. But now the place that we're going, everything is like 6 feet apart, all this whole drill. And so we have to make reservations, and everything has changed so much now. And that's why I thought, instead of trying to get the entire world crammed into a restaurant to visit with you, it would be cool to do it on Facebook Live. So anyway,
Yeah.
ready, Doc?
I'm speechless. Yeah, I'm for once speechless.
Yeah.
But you have to promise me you'll wear either reindeer antlers or a hat.
I have to promise you that.
Yes. There you go.
I can do part of these
You
things.
do the nose. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's definitely you.
all right. I'll promise you that I will wear appropriate decor for your birthday celebration. How's that?
Okay. We'll see what that means. I'm getting more scared.
Yeah. Well, I want you to be scared. That's certainly the good basis for that.
Yeah, that's a good basis for friendship, is for one friend to scare
I
the
know.
other, don't you think?
For fear. Yes, I like that immediately. So while we're on the subject of you, my friend, why don't you tell everybody watching a little bit about RevDoc7.com, because obviously your business has gone so beautifully even during the pandemic season, and I think it is really awesome for people to hear all about you.
Thank you. Well, I'm Dr. Laura Christine. I am a traditional naturopath, which means my focus is in natural wellness and medicine. I am also a podcaster, and I didn't bring up the right screen, but I do a podcast called Mighty Morning Moment. My approach with health is soul, body, spirit, and really a lot of my clients, about 70%, I believe my take and my experience with working with people is how we think. And the Mighty Morning Moment is just 3 to 5 minutes where I talk about something to think about. So that actually has been something that came out of this pandemic thing. So I took the jump into Mighty Morning Moment, and then I've also been dabbling in YouTube, and you can find me on RevDoc7. I'd love for folks to join to build my little following also too. But yeah, I'm a podcaster. I'm an ordained minister. I'm a traditional naturopath. It's kind of all wrapped together. And I'm also a part, Queenie, of your water family. And that's actually kind of our our little connection. So
I
how about
love
if you tell
our little
everybody about your water?
I love our little connection, and I really do mean that. The networking piece, and I was thinking about this the other day because someone who is not a social media person must have perused and found Doc and Queenie all over the place. And she said, "What is Doc and Queenie exactly?" I said, well, in our case, it's anybody's guess. But I said, we started out a Girl Chat with a Faith Twist, and that's basically the ministry piece of what we do here. And we met on July 25th, 2019. And she goes, "How do you remember that?" And I said, well, for me, it was so incredibly impactful. And the No Excuses Networking Tribe, we had met by that point, basically a little over 2.5 years at that moment. And now to think that we have been together this long, over 3 years for the networking group. And then when Doc walked in, it was just like, oh my gosh. And one thing led to another, and the one-on-ones and the chats and things like that. And I thought, oh my goodness. And so anyway, when I was explaining it to her, it was kind of a funny thing to think. The water connection, you had already known about Kangen water for so long. And since you had known about it, it was a good fit for me to hear the naturopath version of the Kangen water business. So I love having you as part of our Miracles with Water family. And Miracles with Water was born in 2008. The company's been around for 47 years, but we can DBA. And so Miracles with Water started in 2008. And the networking piece started because probably people are not just going to look people up on the internet and decide to come by and get a 2-week free trial of free water. I mean, you never know, but maybe. So we needed to start networking. I didn't know what that meant. So one thing led to another, and all of a sudden we were networking. And my first book was born, the orange one, in 2012. And I got to literally start speaking all over the country, which was phenomenal to me. I always say God has a sense of humor. God has a sense of humor.
Yes, he
Because
does.
I'm not a speaker, I'm not an author, I'm not a trainer. And then he goes, poof, yes, you are. So it was kind of funny how that worked out. And then one of my coaches prompted me to write my second book. He hit the clouds running and never looked back, which is a story, basically a grief journey and survivorship. And now I get to train hospice groups and palliative care places, as well as funeral homes on death, dying, the grief part, actually. And I'm sorry for your loss is one of those things that people say a lot. And as soon as I tell them, please think of something different, I didn't lose them, they died. Plus, in case I know where they are. And they always look at me like, I never thought of that. But that's one of my biggies, because I'm sorry for your loss means that I lost my keys, or I lost my phone, or I lost my case, my mind. And so I don't have an opportunity actually to go back and find any of those. So it's back to that same thing. I'm sorry for your loss is something different when it comes to grief, in my opinion. And then this book is my purple one. And Doc, you were around when that one was born, and fought it tooth and nail, and Jesus decided, get her done, sister. And so that was born in July of 2020. How can I forget that number? And most of that training is actually obviously Zoom, and which is convenient. I mean, is this amazing? I was doing the math. I have put, I think I have put less than 3,000 miles on my car since March 12th of this year, 2020. And isn't that amazing? And I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, well, where are you going to go? You can't go anywhere because you can't do anything. And so everything is kind of local. And I really did. I was thinking about that. So now we networking on steroids post-quarantine, everything's different. So, but thank you for that. And I appreciate it so much, because literally how this works out is one thing leads to another. How did we meet? Doc and Queenie was born, and the things that have already happened. And one night we decided, let's do a bingo party, and here we are. So how does that work out? I was just now looking, by the way, something's happening the day after your birthday.
Let's see, that would be, when is my birthday again?
Yeah, don't forget that day.
Oh, nope, it's not that. It's not that. It's we've got too many screens. Is it this one? Nope, it's not that. We've got a lot going on, Queenie. Could it possibly be this one?
Ta-da!
There we go. Finally found it. It's bingo. Yes. Yes, and bingo is a lot of fun. I mean, it's we just have fun. I get dorkier than I am already, and we like to laugh, and just it's fun to connect with people, and we have lots of sponsors, and we're looking for more, right, Queenie?
Yes, I was just looking at that actually. We need some more sponsors. December 15th, 7 o'clock Central Time is Doc and Queenie Bingo. We definitely need just a couple more sponsors. We actually have one sponsor from Las Vegas. I'm super excited about that.
Awesome.
And that'll be fun, because several of the girls in one of my coaching classes from Las Vegas are coming to the bingo party. So that'll be extra fun to unite the states, if you will. And so each sponsor is able to speak about her company or anything she wants for a minute or so before that game starts. And then whatever prize she's offering, unless she wants to keep it a surprise.
Or give us a prize too, right? No disclaimer.
We can do that. Yeah. Whoever wins that particular game connects with that particular sponsor, and a new friendship is born. So
yes, very cool. We've had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we really have. One, two.
Love to,
bingo party.
Or yep. And contact myself or Queenie.
Yep.
Let us know if you're interested. It's a lot of fun, and we keep it to an hour, or I should say she keeps it to an hour. Yeah. I'm in charge of the music and make sure we get all our numbers straight.
And that's the hard part, actually, keeping the numbers straight. All you need to bring to come to a bingo party, the DQ style, is one piece of paper and one writing utensil. That's it. We do.
Get a sense of humor, maybe a sense of humor.
That always helps with this group. Yeah, that always helps.
No, but we seriously have fun. It's all about our connect. It's just another way that we're connecting. We love it, and I think everybody that has participated has loved it. Oh gosh.
Yeah, and the thing I love so much is some of the girls I won, she sponsored, they have never met before. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I love it when you're pulling the numbers, and last time we had like close to 12 people and nobody got bingo, like until, I mean, it was like you were two numbers away from, whatever you were doing. And yeah.
Oh my gosh. And that sounds like my luck, which is the funniest thing. When I first started playing this, I saw it online, of course, with one of the other groups I'm in. The ladies from Pennsylvania she was offering a bingo party, and I thought, how do you do a bingo party on Zoom? I got to get that figured out, because obviously I don't want anything complicated. I don't do that, especially when it's at night. Thank you. I'm already spent for the day. And so she's from Pennsylvania. She has a Tupperware company. And so she was doing, the prizes are her Tupperware business. Well, that's perhaps not a good fit for me either, but I appreciate all the lovely items that that company has. And I'm sure somebody can teach me how to work all this stuff someday.
Uh-huh.
I learned how to play bingo, and it was actually easy. So December 15th, 2020 is our next bingo party, the day after Doc's birthday. And it's at 7 o'clock Central Time. And then guess what? We have a new one scheduled for 2021, and that's on January 19th.
We do. That's right.
Yeah.
7 o'clock. Did you say that? 7 p.m.?
7 o'clock Central Time. Yes, absolutely.
For 1 hour. 1
Uh,
hour.
yes, 1 hour.
Wow.
And we will definitely, honestly, keep it to that, because we know people's
We do.
times are precious.
Yes.
You put up a picture a second ago, Doc, that we might want to mention, by the way.
The other background with the upcoming 2021. My computer's moving super slow. There we go.
Well, the fact that they're still up and running, I'm
Oops. Well, we've got
That's
that one.
that's
We've got a
one I-
guest live coming up.
yes, we do. And that's the one I actually wanted to talk about also. Do I have that? Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
This is such a fun topic.
Uh-oh.
And
I've lost my picture. Can you see me?
yeah, I can totally see you.
I
hope
cannot
that
see you.
Cyber gods are nuts.
Well, I'm just going to stand here or sit here and pretend that I can see you.
Good. I hope that you can.
There we go. That was scary. It went totally black.
That's
All
not
right.
good.
I love technology.
That's
No.
not good.
So we've got a guest live coming up. What day is that on, Queenie?
Well,
We're just trying to show everybody that we're just, I do believe it's on Thursday at 11, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, good job. Yes, it's Thursday, December 10th at 11 a.m. So good job. And we always keep the person as a surprise.
Yes. Yes. So be there or be square, right?
Absolutely. But this has been so fun too. The ladies that have chosen to be on, and they're brave enough to be on this with us, that has been awesome. An opportunity for them to chat about anything, but certainly themselves, their business, their journey. And it really has been cool to get to know people on a personal level. So we have several of those scheduled ahead. And
Awesome.
I think we actually have one already for 2021, but we are booking for the new year. How many people are waiting for the calendar to turn over? Yeah. So if you would like to be on, connect with Doc, connect with me, and we'll get you scheduled.
So Queenie,
Uh-oh.
I've got a question. And
Uh-oh.
we've kind of talked about it. So I just thought I'd throw this out there.
Okay.
Is 2021, what does expectation or expectancy mean to you for 2021?
Well, expectation was actually my word for 2020. And who knew back in December when I picked it? And for me, expectation, I'm always a glass is not only half full, but it's probably filled to the top. I know, cheers. And for me, expectation is I expect the best of everything at all times, in people, in relationships, in business journeys, whatever that looks like. So expectation, as it turned out, for that being my word, who knew last year, a year ago,
Yeah.
right now, when I chose it, that was going to turn out to be this kind of an expectation year.
Right. Right.
See, that's an interesting word. Tell me about your thought on expectancy.
Well, I listen to a lot of different people, speakers and coaches and this and that. And somebody brought up the difference between expectation and expectancy from, of course, his viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yours is a little different on the expectation. His was expectation sets up, if it doesn't go the way you want it, then, it can be a negative. So he flipped it to expectancy, which,
Okay.
for me kind of resonated because I originally I was thinking my word for next year was action, but I think it might be expectancy.
Wow.
I'm excited for a new year because Groundhog Year will be over, and a lot's going on. I've got a lot of irons in the fire, like I usually do.
Oh my
but,
gosh, you
new
do.
year, new
indeed.
things.
You
And
do.
I'm excited about what God's going to do with me. That kind of thing. So that's where I was coming from. What
My
about you?
goodness. Did you decide that you are going to have expectancy as your word?
I do believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because the action piece, I'm an action person to start with anyways. I set a goal and I go for it until I complete it. I'm that kind of person. I'm a go, go, go. Oil and water, like you say.
Yeah.
I'm going 5 over the speed limit, and Queenie's still,
I'm just a little bit
moseying.
that. Yeah. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady. And Doc will see me when I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
How that works.
So, but I'm more really excited as to the new year, because I just finished a bunch of certifications and I'm excited. So yeah.
Congratulations. I know that's been a lot of work, but obviously for those of us who reap the benefits of your expertise, that is ta-da. So
Thank you.
congratulations. That's a big deal.
It is. Thank you. It's been a long haul.
Oh
So
my goodness, absolutely. And that's another opportunity, honestly, for the Rev Doc 7, the Kathy Weaver KC, ask and ye shall receive has been in my head all this time. It's a lot of work for anything that you choose to do, in my opinion.
right.
And anything worth doing is worth doing well, I guess. And so what are you going to think about? Do you want to do it halfway? Do you want to do it full way? What does that look like? And it really is an opportunity for people to connect. And this has been an awesome journey. First of all, to see your growth and your networking and the people that you have met, and some of the people we know in common, but some we don't. That's been cool.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I'm, outgoing, action. I love people. I love the networking part. It's been a lot of fun. And it's been fun to have connections in common, which is just like, that person, and we both laugh. But and speaking of that, I was telling you this the other day, as a matter of fact. I was making an appointment with a person, and she was communicating with me through instant message, and it just said Jen on there, and I didn't know exactly, Jen who. And so I looked her up in the process, and I know her, and I knew her from 10 years ago. And she, at the end of the instant message, and it kind of clicked, like, and that's when I started to look her up, because I was going to do a little research. I had heard from somebody else she was good. And so I was in the process of the appointment. I looked her up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Jennifer. And she was laughing, but her last instant message is, and we'll catch up. And I'm like, we'll catch up. I don't even know you. So that's, it was just funny. Just the networking piece of people do pop up from your past too. And it's just fun. It's fun.
You know what? As soon as you said that, that's the next thing I thought of. I got a phone call, and I don't know, I don't do all that cyber stuff, but how the phone number came up, it only had her first name. Now I have her whole name in my phone as the contact info, but these new scrolling things that are on here only come up with a little piece of it. But since I had the name in my phone, I answered, because the only ones I don't do are 1-800 or out of the country, whatever that stuff is. And so as soon as the phone number popped up, I said, hi, this is Kathy. And she goes, I don't know if you remember me, but, and I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, well, obviously, of course I remembered her. She's a water person, and I send out newsletters usually about once a month or once every 6 weeks or so, just as keeping everybody what's going on with the company. But she moved into a different home, and she wanted to know how to install her water machine in her new kitchen. And so we were going over that, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't think I've spoken to her personally, like actual conversation, in probably 6 years. And she's had her machine that long. And I just thought, oh my goodness. And it was a funny thing. I don't know. And I looked on the contact information after we hung up, because I thought, why do I not have her whole name in there? I do, but the little scroll
Just did.
came up with a little teensy. And so you got a Jen and I got a Shannon like that. And I thought, the fact that I had her name in there at all means that she's someone I know. So of course I answered. Isn't that a weird thing how this
It is funny.
stuff goes? Yeah.
It is funny. Yeah, we had lost touch, and because we had interacted, we were in a group together, and it was at least 10 years ago.
Oh my
and then just lost touch, and it was just like, oh my gosh, and she hasn't changed, and her kids are in college, and I'm like, oh my God. It's like you always have the person that you've interacted with where you've left them, like you're not going to age, your kids aren't going to grow up,
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, you're only 27. You're
hello.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. My kids are in their 30s and 40s. So yeah, people are curious about that.
Uh,
I know. The problem is my grandchildren are doing the math and they go, Gigi, so I have a question. And I'm always, I know what that's.
no questions. You don't want the answer. Yeah.
We're not going to discuss that right now. Stick to 27. And then I'm going back by 10. So we'll see how that works out. Oh my
That's
gosh.
awesome.
I love that so much. You look like an absolute Christmas picture, my friend.
That's home. Oh, my computer just wigged out on that one. Yes, that is Home Depot. One of my
Yes, I
favorite
know.
places.
That is your favorite place. Oh my gosh.
Well, and lately we had to go. I've been working on. I don't have a picture of the ceiling, but we've been working on a little coffee bar down in our basement, and so we just visited yesterday for more mud because I'm mudding and taping.
Oh my gosh. Well,
So
that doesn't sound like a good fit for me, but I'm sure it will be.
I'm waiting for my dinner, Queenie. I'm waiting for my
Well,
dinner.
and it'll be a little Uber person at the door. So just
Okay.
open it up.
Dressing on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
No cheese, no
No
crouton.
dairy, no gluten, no sugar. I know all that stuff that's not happening in my world.
Steak and shrimp, steak, medium rare, medium to medium rare.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know
Filet,
that's
please.
specific parameters. If anybody is still on and listening with us,
Yeah.
Doc's birthday surprise. So have that delivered to her home and I'll give you the address if you want.
Oh dear. I'm getting scared again.
Yeah, you should. Think about that though, honestly, from a standpoint of your friend from 10 years ago connected, you've got friends all over the country, literally. And what does
I do.
it look like now? I am grateful, blessed beyond measure with how we've been able to stay connected during these times and the different people that are coming on live now and the different people that are doing recordings and kind of videos. And you get to see, catch up with everybody. And what is your birthday celebrations? What does that look like now? Are you able to connect with your friends? Like you can do a coffee chat over the phone or on Zoom if everybody's not local anymore? Do you?
That's yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. And I've been trying to be intentional through this whole thing of calling people I haven't talked to in a while.
That's awesome.
There's a
Yeah.
birthday, that's another excuse too. But most of it's
Yeah.
Zoom or phone calls. Yeah. No, I've been doing the who haven't I heard from or talked to in a while. And like you say, I've got people all over the country. We've lived in 12 different places, so I've got a lot of
Oh my gosh. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. That is amazing. I've had 3 houses my entire life. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we moved
Entire
3
adult life.
times. We've moved 12 times in our we were married 14 years and we moved 12 times in 14 years.
Oh my
And
gosh.
my husband was not in the military.
Uh,
So so
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
moved all over. But yeah, we've lived here in this house in Kansas City area for 17 years. I
My
don't know
goodness.
what I'm going to do when we're going to move one more time, we think. And I don't know, I've got so much stuff now because I used to clean out everything every year and a half, really. Every year and a half is when we would move. And now I'm like, we've got all of this furniture and yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and that's always a fun thing too. I've lived actually in this house now for 25 years, which I can't believe. But my first house was 6 and my second house was 8 and now this one. And so it literally is a funny thing to me when you said you moved so many times. And Delinda Lane is obviously a great friend of ours. And
Yes.
she has moved lots, even in her growing up years, plus even with her husband and she and her husband being married for this long, they've moved a lot. And so I look back on that and I just think, oh my gosh, 3 houses, my adult life. And I'm just going, this is plenty for me. I mean, all that time would make me nuts. So I'm surprised that you can handle that.
Oh, it teaches you how to be a really good packer, and I know how to move. I've got it, this time around we've had moving companies, we've moved ourselves. I've packed. I actually Jim has had different jobs and he would go ahead of me. And then I would pack the house, move it all into the garage, have the movers come or have them pack the truck, all of those little caveats to but this time I'm getting a little more wise that I will probably pay somebody to move us.
I was going to say, having 3 kids also probably added to that excitement.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that those kind of things are phenomenal. When I think back to the people that have moved a lot, and then I think to our super awesome friend Karen Reyes, she has lived in her current house for quite a long time also, like I think in the 30 plus years kind of thing. And that to me, I don't know, back in the olden days, they used to say that you moved about every 7 years. Well, I know you're
Okay.
7, which is pretty cool. I really would love to know what the numbers are now. How often
Yeah.
does the standard American typical person move? I don't know.
Well, I know people, I heard actually recently people with jobs, up until this year, every 2 to 3 years, they'd be
Oh
switching
my
jobs. And
gosh.
you're like, wow, in our generation, um,
Your generation.
that sounds
Yeah.
weird to say, but the longevity, it's not so longevity anymore with the people coming up behind us.
And
Everybody's
especially, I love how you said, except for this year.
yeah, we'll keep this year out. Yeah.
Every single,
I'm on vacation. I haven't
I,
paid any attention. Yeah,
you've been on vacation a long time, my
I
friend.
have. I have.
But think about every single number or typical assessment, anything, schedule, system is not the same for this year. All
Right.
years forward except 2020. All the
Oh
everything
yeah.
except 2020.
Oh, everything has gone out the window, for whatever's traditional, whatever's common, whatever is. Yeah, and I think a lot of the angst with people is because things are not routine or traditional, or
I do too. Yeah. Yeah. And
um
for me, I'm flexible as long as you don't change anything.
yeah. Yeah, I was always worried about the kids, with changes, and no, it's the adults. It's the mom
Yes.
and dad that are having the hard times. It's not the
Yeah,
kids.
I
They
think
go
so
with the
too.
flow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too. Well, the good news is the only thing we can ever guarantee is that there is going to be change. And
Right.
I can't believe this is already happening, but we've come to the end of our time together today.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. And so I really mean it. I just wanted to thank everybody who's watching,
Yes.
does watch parties, everyone who is supporting our channels and your podcast, all of those things. We appreciate that so much. So Doc, take us home.
Well, thank you again. Like Queenie said, we so appreciate and are honored to have you guys in our group and having you do watch parties and support us on our YouTube channels and, checking out our websites, et cetera, et cetera. But no, we really appreciate it. It's all about connection. Please invite your friends. Let's connect with more people, even if this is just a little, fun, happy something for your day. We love to be the crazy people to, bring a little humor. But seriously, no, we really appreciate it. And thank you for your support for Doc and Queenie.
And we will see you next week at high noon for a certain birthday party. So be sure and stay tuned. Pay attention to the Doc and Queenie group page on Facebook. That's where we will be posting the Zoom ID and password so you can join us right here on this screen. So until next week, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Queenie.
Thank you, Doc. Have a good day.
You too. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.